Ward is not playing his best football, but calling him a bust after 7 games is one of the dumbest things that I've ever seen, and I'll break it down on today's edition of Locked On Titans.
You are Locked On Titans, your daily Tennessee Titans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Titans podcast. I am your host, Tyler Rowland. Titans fans, today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. On today's show, we're going to talk about some glimmers of hope for the Titans on the defensive and the offensive side of the ball. But I want to start with this conversation about Cam Ward because some people are throwing around the term bust after 7 games, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I'll explain why, but before we get into it, do want to thank you for making Locked On Titans your first listen each and every day. Remember, Monday through Friday, Tennessee Titans content all year round, always for free. Make sure that you get subscribed, stay subscribed. It's your team every day. Speaking of every day, shout out to my everydayers out there tuning in Monday through Friday. Couldn't do it without you guys, and if you aren't an everydayer, you need to be one. Now, I took a look at the film. I've already watched Cam Ward's performance. I've already seen the online conversation, and again, I think it's absolutely absurd that people are willing to call Cam Ward a bust after just 7 games. Now, I will be the first person to admit, just like I admitted yesterday after the game itself, Cam Ward is not playing well right now. And there are things that Cam Ward needs to do better, and I'll tell you exactly what those are. But to look at the entire situation as a whole and declare that Cam Ward is a bust based on these 7 games, it's absolutely ludicrous. Again, I think it's moronic at this point in time to make a long-term declaration on what Cam Ward is going to be, good or bad, based off of 7 games. Now, if you guys want to take a look at the tape and see what I saw in Week 7, I have my Cam Ward film breakdown out right now on the Tic Tac Titans YouTube channel. Go over there and check that out. I went over the good, the bad, and the ugly. But from an overall perspective, again, 7 games. Now, the reality is there are some bad faith actors out there. There are people who always hated Cam Ward, called him a bust before he was ever drafted, like other players that they said were going to be better than him, and even players who haven't even got a chance to play because they haven't earned it. They're better than him. There are just people out there who aren't having these discussions in good faith that are going to rush fans of other teams and all of that, you know what I mean? But I've even seen it from Titans fans. I've seen Titans media people try to go after Cam Ward and things like that, and I don't understand, number one. It's been 7 games. It's been 7 games of his NFL career. How could you possibly know who Cam Ward is going to be in year 3, year 4 as a quarterback off 7 games? It just doesn't work like that. Like that in itself, just the timeline of trying to write the book and close the book on who Cam Ward is going to be as a player after 7 games is already dumb enough. But consider the environment that he is in. With Calvin Ridley injured, this is by far the worst wide receiver group in the NFL. Period. Like, people want to talk about the Giants. They have Wan'Dale Robinson. They've had Darius Slayton. Those are better players than any wide receiver on the Tennessee Titans when Calvin Ridley is hurt. So get out of here with that. Like, that's insane to me. The offensive line isn't playing well, and the Titans are the only team this year that has fired their head coach, and he deserved it. So you have the worst coaching in the NFL, and look, Brian Callahan may be gone, but that doesn't mean that the coaching staff is all of a sudden good. The worst coaching in the NFL, the worst wide receiver group in the NFL, a bottom 3 run game in the NFL, and an offensive line that has been an absolute disaster in pass protection. They've been if you want to talk about a bust, the offensive line was supposed to be mightily improved. They have been a bust. So, terrible wide receivers, maybe the worst coaching, one of the worst run games, one of the worst offensive lines, And through 7 games, you're going to call Cam Ward a bust? It's just absurd. It's absolutely absurd. And not only that, but how many examples do we need to see in the NFL today to show that we must have some patience with these young quarterbacks? Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones this year, Mac Jones this year for that matter. I would even say, I know Geno Smith is at the tail end of his career now and he's been awful, but Geno Smith got his career back on track. How many examples do we need to see of young, talented quarterback, impatient fan base, bad organization, makes young quarterback look worse than they really are? This young, talented quarterback is actually a good quarterback. He just needed a little patience and a better environment. It's just crazy to me that we see all these examples, the circumstances that Cam Ward is in the environment that he's in, and it only being 7 games and all of those, and there are still people, Cam's a bust. It's insanity to me. Now, let me say this. Let me be clear about this. I can't sit up here and tell you that Cam Ward won't be a bust. I can't know that for certain. You can't know that for certain. But the whole point is, it is far too early, and there are far too many insane variables to have that kind of bold long-term proclamation on Cam Ward right now. It's impossible. You don't know, good or bad, what Cam Ward's going to be in year 3 and year 4. You just simply don't know. And 7 games certainly isn't enough time to make that call. Now, let me say this, to use Cam Ward's words, say that 5 times fast. Let's keep it a buck, which is something that, honestly, I've been saying since far before Cam Ward said it. It's been a thing for a long time. Surprised by the people who are like, oh, this is new? No, it's not. But Cam Ward's not playing well. The things that Cam Ward is in control of, when it's not his offensive line messing up, when it's not his wide receivers messing up, when it's not the coaching being bad, when it's just Cam Ward needs to do the job, he is not batting 1,000. So Cam Ward needs to play better. This is not excusing bad play from Cam Ward. Because again, I just went through all of the tape, and check out my film breakdown on the good, the bad, and the ugly from Cam Ward in week 7. But dropping the ball out of your hands when there's nobody touching you, that's just on Cam Ward. Some of these inaccurate throws that are getting tipped and turning into interceptions, I'm sorry, the throw to Chigakonkwo was terrible. That is not on Chigakonkwo. That is solely 100% on Cam Ward. It was a terrible throw way behind him, and it turned into a pick. Those are things that are Cam Ward's fault. So I'm not here to say, hey, you can't blame Cam Ward at all. You can blame Cam Ward for the things that Cam Ward deserves blame for. But with that, you can also be honest and say that Cam Ward is in a terrible situation, and 7 games of a terrible situation is nowhere near enough time to make a declaration that he is a bust. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. And with all of the other NFL evidence that we've seen in recent history, how could you not have a bit of patience with a young, talented quarterback? So, to me, the conversation is off the rails. It's a lot of misplaced anger because the team is so bad and people just want to see blood. But we need to calm the heck down on the proclamations about Cam Ward, even while being honest and say he's not playing good football. So if you can't say both of those things at the same time, Cam Ward's not playing well, but it's far too soon to close the book on who he's going to be as an NFL player. If you can't admit that both of those are true at the same time, then I don't really have anything to say to you. And it's just that simple for me. But with that being said, I think there were some things in that game that we should be excited about. And there are some building blocks here that Titans fans should be optimistic about going forward. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball, where some of these rookies continue to show out.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Also want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride, with more IIHS Top Safety Pick Awards than anyone else as of August 2025. Whether it be footwork, breathwork, our favorite athletes sweat all the details, and Mazda brings that same intention to how they craft every model. You can feel the Japanese craftsmanship in every detail, from the metallic accents to the available Nappa leather upholstery. You can make everyday drives feel like anything but. From smooth handling to intuitive controls, with all-wheel drive standard in every crossover SUV, you could drive with confidence through almost any season. I told you guys I have a Mazda CX-5 at home. Absolutely love it, and I know that you guys will love a Mazda too, because like our favorite players, Mazda sweats every detail, because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. It's Mazda. Move and be moved. Titans fans, let's continue today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast, reacting to that terrible game against the New England Patriots. Like I told you guys yesterday, same old Titans. The problems that they had were the same old problems that they've had all year, and it goes back to me saying Brian Callahan needed to be fired, but I wouldn't expect a big-time change coming off of Brian Callahan's firing either. Now, we talked about why you can't call Cam Ward a bust right now. Doesn't mean that he won't be, but you can't say that after 7 games. But I'm tired of the negativity. It's time to do some positive content, because I think looking at that game, there are a lot of positives that you could take on both offense and defense. Now, most of it comes in the form of young players, and we got to talk about the rookies. Gunnar, Helm, Chim, Dike, looking great on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to throw Peter Skoronski in there as well. Although he's not a rookie, he's still a young player that's a building block for the Tennessee Titans going forward. But I was so impressed by Chim Dike in that game. We know that Chim Dike is a good returner. Like, that's already obvious. This guy is maybe the Pro Bowl returner for the AFC this year. There's a good chance that Chim Dike will win that award. He'll at least be high in the running, or at least he should be. But not only was he good in special teams yesterday, as we saw 3 returns on kickoffs, 84 yards, including a 31-yarder, had 1 punt return, 15 yards. That's a pretty good punt return right there. Not only did he have those, but he finally started to emerge as a wide receiver on offense. And I thought, finally, the Tennessee Titans allowed Chim Dike to actually play wide receiver. So far, he's been used in gadget ways, motion into the backfield, quick screen here, reverse here, stuff like that. And I like the idea of using Chim Dike on those things. I don't think that the Titans should stop using Chim Dike on those gadget plays. I think with his speed, 4.3 speed, he absolutely is a guy who you should get involved in those type of things. That should continue. But they also need to let him actually play wide receiver. And with Tyler Lockett struggling and being essentially useless for the Titans throughout these first 7 weeks, it only makes sense that you would give a guy like Chim Dike more opportunities. And Dike, who we were told before the season is probably going to focus on playing in the slot, well, Tyler Lockett probably going to focus on playing in the slot. it would be a good opportunity for Dike to continue to eat into the reps for Tyler Lockett. And based on the snap count that we saw yesterday, Chim Dike around 30 snaps and Tyler Lockett only around 14. Like, it sounds like Mike McCoy and the Titans offensive staff is slowly going to start to do that. But Dike paid it off. He had 4 catches for 70 yards, had the touchdown as well. And the thing is, I love the route running that we saw from Chim Dike. Dike got a curl route, a 10-yard curl route, totally normal. Hit, obviously, on the deep crossing route over the middle of the field. That's the type of route that he had so much success with at Florida. So I think using Chim Dike on those speed crossers across the middle of the field are going to open up things, and we know that's an area of the field that Cam Ward likes to go to. So hitting Dike across the middle of the field, that could be something that Cam Ward finds comfort in for the next 4 to 5 years. You know what I mean? I think that could be important. But then again, we see the speed on display with the corner post route that he scored the touchdown on. That was coming to the middle of the defense, fake the corner route to the outside, and then break the post back over the middle of the field. And I'm going to do a little bit of a film breakdown later this week on Chim Dike, on Gunnar Helm, and some of these young guys that we're talking about here. But I like the route variety, finally letting Chim Dike do some actual real wide receiver stuff. We know that he can be a weapon on special teams. We know that he can be a weapon as a gadget player in the offense. But having him grow into an actual traditional wide receiver as well, that'll be critical for the Titans moving forward. And that's something that you could be very excited about. We finally got a little bit of a breakout performance from Chim Dike there. But I also got to continue to shout out Gunnar Helm. Nightmare on Helm Street, man. 4 catches, 36 yards, and his snap count the last 2 weeks has started to get closer to out-snapping a guy like Chig Okonkwo. Chig Okonkwo was the lowest graded Tennessee Titan in the entire game, according to Pro Football Focus. He was awful. Well, on offense, I should say, because L'Jarius Sneed continues to be in the gutter every single week on the grading scale of Pro Football Focus. And look, PFF grades aren't everything, but when you watch the tape and what you see on tape is confirmed in the grades, to me it shows like, you know, they're not insane over there also. Like, there's something to be gleaned here from this. But Gunnar Helm, I've said it since the day he was drafted, he should be tight end 1 for this team because he's just as good as a receiver as Chig. The only thing that Chig Okonkwo does better than Gunnar Helm is yards after catch opportunities. That's it. Chig is not a good route runner. He never has been. Helm is better. Helm is a much better catcher of the football. He's a much bigger target with a bigger catch radius for Cam Ward, who, as I've been trying to tell you guys for months now, he's a gunslinger. He's not going to be pinpoint accurate. He's not Joe Burrow. He's not Tom Brady. He's not going to be that pinpoint accurate ball placement guy. He's not. Even when he plays better, he's not going to be that. He's going to be a little inaccurate, a little wonky. You're going to need guys who are big and tall with wide catch radiuses and good body control and adjustment ability to adjust to some of these inaccurate passes that Cam's going to throw. And Gunnar Helm does exactly that. We saw a catch on the sideline by Gunnar Helm where Cam Ward gets out of pressure, scrambles to the right, fires a missile, and Gunnar Helm is able to toe tap on the sideline and catch the ball. Not only that, but Gunnar Helm was excellent as a blocker on the touchdown pass to Chim Dike. Gunnar Helm wins one-on-one with a defensive end to give Cam Ward the time to make that throw. Is Chig Okonkwo making that block? No. So we saw Gunnar Helm get 24 snaps, Chig Okonkwo just a little bit over 30. Last week, we saw that happen as well, where Gunnar Helm is getting closer, where he's within, 10 snaps of Chig Okonkwo, whereas early in the year, Chig is getting 40, 45, 48 snaps, while Gunnar Helm's getting 20, 22, 24, and that's way too big of a gap. Gunnar Helm is maybe the most reliable target that Cam Ward has right now. Week to week, the guy who's going to catch the ball, going to make plays, whether he's open or not, Gunnar Helm is the most reliable guy that Cam Ward has. So you have to play him more, and him playing well has me very excited for the future of, you got DK, Io Manor can be a solid role-playing wide receiver. You have Gunnar Helm. The Titans get an alpha wide receiver 1 in there and a little bit more depth and let Xavier Restrepo play. They elevate Mason Kinsey. What are we doing? We know, look, good for Mason Kinsey. He's had a good career. I don't dislike Mason Kinsey, but we know who Mason Kinsey is. He's not going to help you on special teams. And if he's not returning, why is he elevated? Give Xavier Restrepo a chance. But regardless, Gunnar, Helm, Chim, Dike, and Peter Skoronski. Skoronski gave up 0 sacks, only 1 pressure, the highest graded pass blocking offensive lineman for the Titans in the game once again. One of the best interior offensive linemen in the NFL this year. The Titans have Helm, they have Dike, they have Skoronski. And right now, quite honestly, those are the only 3 guys that I'm certain about are going to be a real help to Cam Ward going forward, because Io has to catch the ball and get open on his routes. J.C. Latham just doesn't look right. Is he going to have to move into guard? It's fair to ask those questions. And Tajay Spears is just not reliable enough. I don't think he's going to be here long-term either. So those are the areas of positivity for the Titans on the offensive side of the ball. And quite frankly, we go to the defensive side of the ball. I only see 3 young guys who give me some excitement also. Do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 to use in bonus bets across the app. I love using whether it's player props, money lines, spreads, over-unders, combining all that stuff together to make a same-game parlay. Heck, even if I miss the opening kickoff, I can get in on some live betting action with FanDuel. It makes watching football even more exciting when you got a little something riding on it. Whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. And Lord knows the Tennessee Titans fans need to make their game day experience a little better right now. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Once again, that's FanDuel.com. Titans fans, let's cap off today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. We talked about why it's ridiculous to call Cam Ward a bust through 7 games. We talked about the stuff on offense that I'm excited about, the young guys going forward. Now I want to do that on the defensive side of the ball, and it's tougher on the defense because there are people who are supposed to be answers that are clearly not answers for the Tennessee Titans. But there's some young guys that are really impressive. Before I dive into it, I do want to thank you again for making Locked On Titans your first listen each and every day. Make sure you get subscribed, stay subscribed, and stay locked in with the Locked On Titans podcast. Make sure you check out my Cam Ward film breakdown over on the Tic Tac Titans YouTube channel with the good, the bad, and the ugly from Sunday's loss to the Patriots. But we need more of Kevin Winston. It's that simple. There needs to be more. Kevin Winston played 2 snaps on the defensive side of the ball in this game. 2 snaps. And he had a blitz, had a quarterback hit on special teams. He had another tackle. Like, Kevin Winston is showing he is ready to get reps on the defensive side of the ball. And here's the other thing to think about. The Titans' safeties are all garbage. They have been terrible this year. Xavier Woods, Quandre Diggs is old and slow. Amani Hooker has fallen off a cliff. Just fallen off a cliff. Amani Hooker is a bottom 5 starting safety in the NFL. Poof, all of a sudden, overnight. Completely fallen off a cliff this year. Cut off his hair, made him a captain for the first time. He's fallen off a cliff. They give him the extension, and he's been bad in run defense for a couple of seasons now, but he at least was pretty good in pass coverage. He has been demolished in pass coverage this year. Slow, behind on his reads, not making plays on the football. He has been useless this year. Terrible. Terrible. I mean, there have been times where they take Hooker off the field and they play Diggs and Woods because Hooker's just been so bad. It's not often, but it's happened. And that Amani Hooker used to be 100% snap guy. But his play has fallen off so hard. All three of those safeties have been bad. So why not play Kevin Winston more on defense? What are we waiting for? The team is 1-6. You're not doing anything this year. It is over. Like, nothing is going to happen for you this year. Play the young guys. There's no reason that Kevin Winston shouldn't get more opportunities to play on defense. And the one, he played 2 plays on defense, but the one play where he really stood out, he blitzed off the edge and hit Drake May and caused an incompletion. Can we get more of that? At minimum, can we get more of that? Like, let him blitz. What I want to see is Cody Barton is out there, and to use my guy Will Lomas's term, looking like he's got glass in his cleats. Cody Barton has been awful. Just awful in every sense of the word. Why not let Kevin Winston play some passing down linebacker? Let him play man coverage on running backs. Yesterday, there was a play where Cody Barton was a quarterback spy on Drake May, and Drake May ran right past him for a 20-yard scramble. Let Kevin Winston do that. Why can't Kevin Winston just say, Kevin, you're QB spying on the quarterback? Why not? With the way that the Colts get the ball to Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield, with the way they get the ball to Tyler Warren, why not let Kevin Winston play man coverage on them? He doesn't have to think too much, which, zone coverage, rules and responsibilities, depth, how you adjust to route coverages in the middle of the play. That stuff may be mentally hard for a rookie that missed a ton of time early in the process. You're right, but Kevin, you have man coverage on that guy. That's not hard. That is simple. Anybody, the Titans could pull a guy off the street and say, you have man coverage on him, guard him. Like, there's no reason that Kevin Winston can't get more opportunities on defense, especially in lieu of how bad Cody Barton has been. So if you don't want to take one of your safeties off the field, then take Cody Barton off the field and let Kevin Winston play. Now, that doesn't work on early downs, and, Cody Barton is the green dot, so he's calling the plays. I get the drawbacks. But at some point, if it's 3rd and 12, it's 3rd and 8, God forbid it's 3rd and 20, 3rd and 18, why not just take Cody Barton off the field and let Kevin Winston do that? Just go up to him and tell him, Kevin, on this play, you're going to have man coverage on the running back. Kevin, on this play, you're going to quarterback spy. It's not hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. All right, now, moving forward, Cedric Gray continues to be incredibly impressive. Gray, for how bad Cody Barton has been, Gray has been phenomenal. 10 total tackles, had another tackle for loss, wasn't a problem in pass coverage. Like, Cedric Gray has been great. And you do wonder with the Cody Barton situation, when are they going to give James Williams an opportunity? I know that James Williams has not maybe necessarily earned the opportunity, but Cody Barton has lost the opportunities that he's being given with. I cannot stress how bad Cody Barton has been this year. Why not give James Williams give him a series, especially later in these games when you're getting blown out. They're going to get blown out by the Colts again. They're going to get blown out by the Chargers. They're going to get blown out by the Seahawks. They're going to get blown out by the Texans again. When it's late in these games and you're down by 20, which you're going to be in probably at least a couple of those games I just mentioned, why not give James Williams a chance next to Cedric Gray and see what those guys can do? And then finally, T'Vondre Sweat. Sweat was the highest graded player on the Titans defense, according to Pro Football Focus. Finally got a sack, had a tackle for loss on the day as well. It wasn't great early, but he played 37 snaps, which is quite a bit for coming back after missing 4 weeks. You got to give Sweat credit. The Titans' run defense was terrible. He wasn't very good in run defense. He wasn't bad, though. He was good in run defense. He just wasn't great. But he made some plays in pass defense, getting pressure on the quarterback. If you want something to be happy about, Kevin Winston, Cedric Gray, and T'Vondre Sweat. Because outside of that, With Jeffrey Simmons hurt, Femi Oladipo hurt, Barton is terrible. We'll probably never see Snead in a Titans uniform ever again now that his quad is hurt again. All the veteran safeties have been a disaster. Jalen Armour Davis is terrible. Roger McCreary's good, but he's going to be a free agent. Are the Titans going to re-sign him? I don't know. Draymond Jones on the edge. Jihad Ward got some pressure on the quarterback, but he is a disaster in run defense. But they knew that coming in. So, not much else to be excited about. But hey, Gunnar Helm, Chim Dike, Peter Skoronski, Kevin Winston, Cedric Gray, Tavondre Sweat. Fair enough to be excited about those guys. So let that carry you. Now on tomorrow's show, we got to talk about trades. Because this could be a big trade week for the Titans. And quite frankly, by the time you hear this, the Titans could have already made a trade. And I'll make sure to react to all of it. But it's going to be a big week in that regard, in my opinion. With that being said, make sure that you tune back in for tomorrow's show as I break down everyone who could be traded and what I would hope to get in return. But that's going to do it for me today, folks. As always, I am your host, Tyler Rowland, and this was Locked On Titans.